Hey there. Decided to go live twice in one day. But I thought I would come on real quick and show a little bit about the secondhand store haul that my husband and I did this morning before I had my auction. So give me a minute. Gonna get the computer up and going so that I can see the comments. Sorry about that. Trying to get that muted. All right, so you can see the comments. Say hi if you are coming in. Hi, Sue. Thought I would go live. My husband and I did a quick shopping trip to a secondhand store, and I mean quick. We did it in like 45 minutes because I needed to be back here to do my auction this morning. But I wanted to show a little bit about what I had gotten. So if you see the live button, you've caught me live. If not, go ahead and hashtag replay in the comments if you don't see the live button. And hello. Thank you for letting me know, saying hello, Sue. I appreciate you coming. You are one of my serious followers. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you so much because you seem to catch me a lot of the times when I go live, and I never know right now because my life is so crazy, chaotic, that I never know when I can go live. So it's really hard for me to put out a schedule and plan right now because life is a little crazy. But I thought I would come on and show just a few things that I had gotten from the secondhand store haul. And I think that they're going to be fun surfaces to maybe use and recreate some things. So let me dig down here. I have a couple bags, so it's a lot of fun. And this stuff was so dirt cheap. I was so excited to find some of this stuff because it's like most of these things. I think the one thing that cost the most was $3. Everything else was $1 or $1.50. And I'll show you what cost $3. And I was happy to pay the $3 for it. So we were looking around at some of the stuff, and my husband found this cute little easel, and it has chalk, like a chalkboard on one side, and I think, so it's white on the other side. I think this is a whiteboard, and I thought, oh, that is super cute. I can either use that to help put something behind, well, it's hard to see because of the way things are angled right now. But I did manage to put my Christmas tree up. I don't know if I can, maybe I can move the whole thing. So, no, hold on. Let me get out of the way. Because I want to show you that tin can that I made with the cinnamon. And I put a Christmas tree in the tin can on one of my lives. And I wanted to show, if you can see, the Christmas tree is right there, and it's got some of my ornaments on it, but it's kind of hard to see from the way I sit at my table, my desk. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something else out. But I have so little space that I'm trying to figure out what works. But anyway, I thought that this was really cute. I know a lot of people put share, follow, those kinds of things on signs behind them. And I thought, well, maybe it's something I could do. So I thought, and it says it was sold for $3, but it cost $1. I don't know if you can see that writing because it's so small, but it's $1. I'm sold to the woman in blue. All right, so my, and I think, Sue, you know the story. My husband is in school for ministry school, and he would like to make his office into a prayer room. And his office, meaning we have a 4-bedroom house two of them. One, this room is my office, and then he has another room for his office, our son's room, and then our room. So it's not like we have a castle. It's a 1,400 square foot home with postage stamp rooms, and that's what I sit in. But so this says Christ, he is risen. So Christ is in the light color in the back, and it says he is risen. Well, it's vinyl, and there are marks all over it. And so what I thought I would do is remake the sign. And I do have the ability to cut through with my Cricut. I can cut new vinyl. And so I thought I would redo this sign and that way then he has something to hang in his office, which will be the prayer room. So I thought that was a kind of a cool, I'll have to probably heat it up to get rid of the vinyl on it. But I think it's doable, and we'll repaint it because it's yellow. Not a big yellow fan. So we'll probably look at doing something a little bit different. Maybe modernizing it up a little bit, black and white or something. So that will be one task I have. And then, I found this. So it's almost like a mini pizza paddle. It's got the beveled edge on both sides. I don't know if you can really see the bevel, but there's a beveled edge on this side and on the other side. And it's almost like it was a mini pizza paddle or something. But I'm like, I have a lot of little mini images that come smaller in scale. And I thought that might be a perfect, and I could decoupage something on it, decorate it. I'm like, who knows? And it might be a cute, like, kitchen thing. I don't know. And then actually I found this gem. So this is a nice wooden frame, I think. Oh no, it feels like metal from the backside. It looks like metal, and maybe it's covered with covered with some type of, I don't know. It's got something on it to kind of cover it. But I thought, I found it for $1 as well. This other thing was $1. The Christ sign was $1.50. That's the one thing that was the most. And it has like this nice little beaded. And so I thought, oh, that would be perfect to like put an image in here and then do this trim and something with like gems or something like that from Totally Dazzled, and maybe crackle the frame or something. But then I was in a whole different section of the store and I found a matching one. So now I have matching sets, and it was only $1 as well. So I was super excited. I'm like, ooh, sometimes you have a couple different images. So I thought, perfect. I can do that. And then I was looking around and I found this cutting board. So it's just a wooden cutting board, and it has these like rubber things on the end. And I'm like, oh, maybe I could get rid of those rubber things and maybe fill the holes. Or if I need the holes for a hanger or something, I could leave one set of holes and fill the other holes, paint it, decoupage on it. But I don't know. It was also $1. So I'm like, score. And my husband, so we were actually there looking for a white elephant gift, to be honest. And I struggled to figure out, I just wasn't coming up with anything because I wasn't seeing anything. We have to buy a white elephant gift. Hi, Donna. You're from Ohio. Well, welcome in. I am going over just some of the items that I found at a secondhand store this morning when we were going there looking for a white elephant gift for a Christmas party that we have in a week and a half. And I couldn't find anything, but I could sure find some surfaces that I wanted to make over. And so I found the cutting board. I found one in one part of the store, and then on the completely opposite side, I found the matching frame to it. And I'm like, bingo. So, and I found for $1 this little mini, I think it was probably like a mini pizza paddle or something like that, but it's a great surface. Thank you. My shirt says, pray on it, pray over it, and pray through it. And I got it from Love and Faith on Facebook. So it's a great Christian t-shirt company, and that's great quality with good prices. So thank you for, and I think you're new to me. So I appreciate your, you coming in and watching. And then I had found this. So my husband wants to make a prayer room. So I'm going to redo the Christ sign, kind of modernize it. This is all yellow and blue, and it's got a lot of marks on it. So I'm going to remove the vinyl on here, and we're going to modernize it a little bit and possibly come up with a different saying, maybe a Bible verse, so that he can hang it in his office, which is going to be his prayer room. So, and then my husband found this little gem, and it's like a little easel, and it's got a chalkboard on one side, and like I think it's a whiteboard on the other side, and it was all $1. I mean, each thing, I think the most this was $1.50. This Christ sign was $1.50. I was like, score. But I went through, and I'm like, okay, I found the section. Hi, Jane. Yes. Yeah. 2 times today, huh? I came in and did my auction earlier today, and then we went to the secondhand store before I did my auction, and I had to do some. Never go to Best Buy on a Saturday. Never. Couldn't find a parking spot. And as I was coming in, and I thought I was getting lucky, somebody was backing out. Some little stinker zoomed in and took my parking spot. And I was like, this is not okay. I'm like, dear Lord, you need to take this from me because I am getting frustrated. And then I pulled over to like a second connecting parking lot, and there was 1 parking spot. So I pulled in there, and I had to walk a little bit further, but I'm like, okay. Walked into, what a zoo. So I was going there to try to find something for my husband for Christmas, but maniac, it was a nightmare in there. So I decided, I about faced after I went and looked, and the price from the week before, we had been in there shopping because we had to get something for our son for Christmas. From a week before, the prices, it was $30 more. They like either when we saw it was on a sale or something, or they decided to jack up their prices. I'm like, it was bonkers. So I didn't buy anything, and I left, and then I went to good old Amazon, searched it up, and I'm like, found it at a discounted price and sold to the lady in the parking lot of the Best Buy to Amazon. So take that as a lesson. Best Buy. Okay, so I went, after going through and looking at these surfaces, no, the frames, these 2 frames were not in the same section as the frames. Go figure. Don't know. And they were in 2 separate sections of the, but I decided to walk through their section of frames to look to see if they had anything that had a, a nice surface on the outside, because sometimes if you you find a frame with a good edge, you can then do it with like a dry rub, or you can do a kind of like a dry brush paint and bring out the edging. So I found this frame for $1, and you could see the really nice detail in the frame. So I thought that that would be another good surface to decoupage on. Yeah, you know, we'll see. I have now an ever-growing pile of stuff, and I know that that is one of the... Hi, Judith. Yes, you finally caught me live. I was just showing my haul from the secondhand store, because you know, it's an addiction. It's a terrible, terrible addiction now. I'm addicted to like things that are cheap, that it costs $1, and that you can craft and create beautiful things with. So the last thing that I picked up, and this one cost $3, and this was the most that I spent on crafting surfaces, and it was this tray. And it has some beautiful handles. And this is not real gold, it's plated bronze or something, but it is metal. it's not real silver, because it's not marked or anything like that. So Golden Star Imports, but it's and I thought this is a great surface. I've made over a few trays, and I've pretty much used up all of my stash of trays. So I thought this is a really, really nice, and it has kind of a nice detail. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, I think you can do it see it at the angle, but you can see kind of a little bit of an etching here, and there's tons of etching here in the center. But a lot of times when you go to paint that, it gets covered up if you're going to put an image on it or something like that. But which is okay, because sometimes the image is a little bit nicer than this detail. And so and it's so thin, it's like barely an etching on it. Hi, Andrea. I'm glad you came in. I was just going over some of the things that I had as a haul this morning before I went into my... Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, Andrea. You're such a sweetheart. I was going through some of the stuff as I was preparing, and we needed to go to the secondhand store to buy because it's a requirement. It has to be purchased from a secondhand store, and it has to be under $10. We went there looking for a Christmas gift for the Christmas party that we have in about a week and a half, and couldn't find a thing. But I found lots of surfaces, and my husband's like, wow, you just really went to town. And I'm like, well, when it's $1, you can't refuse it. And so I spent maybe $10 total, maybe not even $10, on the surface items. And for those of you that have joined a little bit late, so I found this frame. It has a really nice edging and detail on the inside, and I thought that that would be really pretty to do, an image in the center. I found this for $1. It's a little mini pizza thing, and it was in the crafting section of the secondhand store. So I'm like, right on. And it was only $1. So I thought, I have a lot of small images that are printed on rice paper that I might be able to decoupage on that. And then I found this gem, and then across the store, on the other side of the store, I found its matching twin, each of them for $1. I don't know if you can see the prices on those, but they're upside down and backwards. But they were only $1, and they have like a nice little edging. So I thought that'll be neat if I have like something that I could do a matching set of my mind is set on like decoupaging because I just have more fun with different images and putting things on decoupage. But, you know, maybe I'll, and then I don't know. I found this cutting board and it has these rubber things on them, but you can take the rubber things off. And so I thought, well, maybe I can fill the holes with some like wood putty. My husband is a handyman, so he has all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah. Thank you for sprinkling, Donna. I appreciate that. That really does help me out. I so much appreciate it. And so I thought, we'll figure out some cool thing to do with that. I found this sign. It's yellow. So my husband wants a sign like this for his prayer room. And so it's his office, and he is now calling it his prayer room, which is totally fine. I am okay with it. But yeah, it was $1.50, and I'm gonna remake this. So this is vinyl, and I'm gonna take the vinyl off, and we're gonna maybe bring it up to new decor standards, doing it in black and white or something like. And I have a Cricut, so I can cut out the vinyl pretty easily. And the last thing that this is a score my husband found, and it's so funny because when I first started this, he was frustrated because he felt like I did nothing but spend money on crafting items, but now he's like finding them for me. And it's like so funny. Oh, that's a good idea. Clay mold, for using a clay mold and doing something on the corners. That's a good idea. Thank you. I only have a few molds and they have roses on them, and they're little itty bitty, but maybe there's an investment in my future, or a stocking stuffer for my husband, but I have to pick it out for him and put it in an Amazon cart so that he, but then he found this, and this is like a chalkboard. It's like a little easel. And it's got chalkboard on the one side and a whiteboard on the other side. And I thought, oh, that's great. You know, so if I can figure out something to do with this partial shelf, you can see, and or make something a little bit better above, or, you know, above the window seat, but something that you guys can see, because you can see the Christmas tree that I made with the can. And it's kind of hard to see because it's shoved like right under the shelf, but it's right there. And so I thought maybe I might be able to make a sign now that, you know, written backwards so everybody can read it, you know, to follow and sprinkle and do all of those things so that I don't have to keep saying it. Because I know a lot of crafters have that. But so that's kind of what I ended up getting on my haul. And then so we were puzzled about what we were going to do for this secondhand thing, and it has to be under $10. So I'm going to set this stuff out of my way. And so I was digging through my stuff, and I said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, we could, you know, because he came up with the idea if we found a mug or something like that. And he's like, well, we could put coffee together, like a little package with a mug and some coffee and a stir spoon or something, and kind of give that away as the white elephant gift. And he goes, or what about one of those charcuterie trays that you do, you know, so well? And so I'm like, you got me thinking. And so there's this, I dug in my stuff, which I'll have to take but this is a bamboo charcuterie tray, and it's not very big. Let me see if I have I do have my ruler here. It's not huge, but he's like, maybe we could do something with one of those things, because everything I buy at the secondhand store, usually. It's about 11 inches in diameter, so it's not huge, but I thought why don't I make something decoupage on it for this group? It's a church group. So, what I thought I would do is so I have some sheet music that is just, it says Just a Closer Walk with Thee. So it's an old hymn that I have sheet music from, and it was just a stack of sheet music that some lady was trying to get rid of. And I'm like, me please. And I found it on Marketplace. So I thought what I would do is because this image that I chose, this is the image that I chose. This is my image. I created it with AI, and you can kind of see it's got the fabric flowing down, and it's got a little bit of a flower in the center, holding the fabric with the mountains in the background. And let's see, you can make coasters and put those words on them. Oh, put the song lyrics on the coasters and epoxy over it. That's a good idea too. That's a really good idea. Yeah, so this particular image, when you look at it, it doesn't quite fit the round plate. And so I needed something like either above or below, but I thought, why not put the Closer Walk with Thee? And have some of the sheet music showing at the top. And then trim off, of course, the edges. And I might be able to, because the edges are white, the paper goes clear to the edge of the paper, so the image won't be. So you can see, so you could probably see if I took pieces and put it on the edges. So that's kind of what I was thinking about doing. And then once I do that, I can put some epoxy over it and make it so that it's food safe. I have to make the investment of the epoxy first. But I thought I would do that. I didn't feel like crafting too much tonight, but I did go ahead and pull everything out because I wanted to come live and tell everybody thank you for supporting me earlier today on my auction. And if you're new, come in and say hi. If you're just started watching, I just came in to chat a little bit, show some of the things that I did on a haul earlier today. We found a few things for our son for Christmas. I know it sounds crazy. So he has some really nice brand new items that he is getting. But my son is graduating on the 20th from college, 20th of December. So you can imagine that's a little crazy, and it's going to get a lot crazier when it gets closer. But so he and I'm safe. He's working, so he won't see this. But he first came in or he had asked for like a hard drive. So we're going to get them that. He is in media and communications. So he, oh, excuse me. I'll take a sip so I don't. I still every once in a while from that cold, I have that tickle in my throat. So it's crazy. But so we found at the secondhand store a really nice, for $5, a really nice telescoping tripod that has 4 different levels for your camera for $5. And it was like, normally when you look and you buy it, you can, it's like 25 to $30 for, and this is a really fancy one. It's got at all different levels, places to be able to extend it out and make it really tall. And then we were cruising around the store and found these those filtered lights, a set of filter lights. And so they're really nice for photography. And so one of the things that he wants to do is he'll want to work in media, and then he also is going to kind of help to take to take a class in photography after he graduates. He says, I don't, and I'm like, cool, mom's good with that. So he's got to get a job, and then he'll take some photography so he can use that, because his camera also has the ability not just to do, video, but it also has the ability to take photos. And so he said, well, maybe I could get into videoing and taking photos for weddings and things like that to kind of help supplement my income. And I'm like, great idea, go for it. So we had found those. We paid $6 per each filter light. And I know that I haven't looked them up online, but I know that they've got to be more expensive than that. They work. And we plugged them in and tested them before we brought them home. So, it's like, great. And if, and I think worst case scenario is if he doesn't want them, I just got to make room, and I can set them up, and I can have a little bit better light than just the ring light. But anyway, thank you for coming in. I appreciate everybody coming in. Has anybody got some big plans for this weekend? I know it's Saturday already. My husband is working right now. So as soon as he gets home, we're probably going to go grab something to eat. And I had an opportunity to have an auction today, so I sold a couple things there. I got all of those things packaged up and sent out, and then we're raising money from the auction items to help send my husband on a mission trip, because he's got a mission trip coming up in March that he's required to go to. So yes, so Judith, your Uncle Doyle is going on a mission trip in March. So anyway, I just thought I'd come on and chit chat for a few minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up tonight. And thank you for joining me and sharing in my excitement of my haul. And I'm going to have to figure out a new way to organize all of this stuff, because it's exploding. So maybe I should start working on some more of these crafts and then figuring out how I can sell them. Because I looked into doing like some of the Christmas shows, but they want a lot of money for the stalls. And so I'm like, yeah, this is not going to work. So, I don't know. There's got to be some other options around town, because I'm sure I'm not the only crafter that's looking to try to let go of, to sell some of their crafted items. So you went to a Christmas parade, and now the lights. Oh, in Chickasha? Yeah. But the kids also had a vendor event earlier today, and you are starting a new business. So what business are you starting? Because I know that you guys had the freeze-dried candy booth, right? What business are you guys starting? Because and when does, sorry, I know I'm asking all kinds of questions. So Judith is the Joseph and Judith is the one that's talking to me right now, but, Judith is my, niece-in-law, I guess we'll call her. So she is married to my husband's nephew. And, so when does Joseph have to switch his job, or goes back to school? When does that happen? But, yeah, so I've got to find some new ways to, sell some of my crafted items. So I'm open to item suggestions if other people have suggestions. I've looked into, well, so the auctions are, I mean, most of you know the auctions are pretty difficult to sell unless you have a big following of non-crafters. A lot of times it's hard to sell for crafters. So you're doing beauty products? Oh, cool. Thank you for letting me know. I know I don't get a chance to talk to you guys very often. It's just been so crazy. But and the other thing that I thought about was some of those it's like a marketplace type of thing where different people rent a space or a stall within there, but by the time, so you have to mark up your prices so much because they take a percentage. The ones here, what they do is they have a person like that mans a cash register, and then they take a percentage of what you mark it up. So in order to pay for the booth and to pay for the person that is working there, if you sell something, I mean, prices just have to be outrageous. So I'm just at a loss for, how to sell my crafted items. So if anybody else has it figured out. Joseph's looking for a job now. His last day was September 20th. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Wasn't he going to go back to school? Did he decide not to go back to school? Because I think last time we knew he was going to go back to school. Hey, Sid. Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. I was just showing some of my haul from the secondhand store. And I know that a few people are new coming in. So Sue and it was Donna and a few others. If you're Andrea, if you're still on, if you're okay with it, I'll go over my items one more time. Jane, yeah, Donna and Jane. I had a lot of fun shopping today. Thank you, Sib. Andrea, you're in the process of getting Shopify and a website. Is Shopify really expensive? That might be. So are you having somebody build the website for you, or are you doing it? We have craft fairs out here. The only craft fairs we have are usually at Christmas, and the schools and the churches that actually are doing them are trying to raise money, and they are just charging an arm and a leg. It's like $100 and $150 for just a table at these events, and there is just no way you can make any money because a lot of them don't get tons of traffic. And so you're lucky to sell as many of your items to be able to make up for what the cost is of the table, and then you're not, in the end, making any money. So Joseph has been doing school. Oh, that's good. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm missing some comments. Give me 2 seconds to scroll back because you guys are talking fast. So Andrea, you have a booth and you pay monthly rent and pay a 10% on top of all sales. Wow. But you seem to be doing pretty good, at least it sounds like, because you are constantly making things for your little booth. Because I caught you yesterday when you were making the little baskets, which is actually really good. So Joseph is in school, so thank you. But he's looking probably for like a part-time job, huh? Okay. All right. Sib said You got a pair of shoes for $10 and they were, oh, Hey Dudes. My husband loves Hey Dudes. Since you fit into the child size. I got them for $20 and then they were half price, half off. So that was a win. Oh yeah. Well, and I bet you, it's a long drive for you guys to go either way, to Colorado or into Salt Lake. But you guys probably have a lot of options for secondhand stores over there. And then, let's see. The basic plan is $39 a month and you build your own site. Oh, okay. So you're building your own site and Shopify gives you the capability of building your site to connect to Shopify is what I'm saying. I'll have to look into that and see. I've not brought in enough or any money, to be honest, at this point. I did sell some items today, but those items that were purchased, that money went to my husband's mission. So any investment that I make from this point forward will be starting in the hole. Well, said any business person. So I'll have to look into it and see if that's something that is an option to be able to sell. Let me know how it goes, because I'd be interested in knowing the kind of traffic that you can get. Sib says they're a size 3. Oh, you're right. You have small feet, girl. Those were at Famous Footwear in town, and they had a buy one get one. Oh, there you go. So both you and your husband got a pair of shoes. Hi, Janet. Thank you for coming in. I was chatting now, but I was actually showing everybody what I had got at the secondhand store, because we had to go there we were supposed to get a white elephant gift. Could not find anything that I thought was appropriate for white elephant. And my husband had come up with some ideas, and but we couldn't find anything at the secondhand. And the requirement is it's either an item from your home that costs under $10 or from a secondhand store. We thought, well, we didn't, have tons of stuff here that we could, because I am not other than my craft room, okay, caveat, my craft room is like a hoarder's paradise, but everything else in my house we kind of keep, because we just don't have a lot of space. So I don't keep tons of stuff that would be appropriate for a white elephant. Thank you. Yes, I would appreciate it if you let me know how it goes, if you're getting a lot of traffic, those kinds of things, because that extra expense, if you are, and I know one other one, Kathy DiDomenico, with Royal Funky Junk, also uses Shopify for a lot of her stuff too. So she runs a lot of her, she used to do auctions, and she has items that she sells, but she's a lot bigger than, I could ever imagine at being. And I think she qualifies as one of those influencers, because she sells, things that she wears. She wears clothing. People give her clothing. She's got jewelry, you name it. But here, let me show my fun things. From the secondhand store. Let me put the other stuff off to the side. I found this cutting board, and it was like it was in a completely different section than any other section. It wasn't with the food items, but hit the Walmart clearance item. Yeah. Let's see. We have to start somewhere. Yeah. You're doing, oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Sib. Give yourself grace. Yeah, I know. I had high expectations, and God knocked me down a few notches, and made me really humble. So, on my second, because my first auction was on the 29th, and I had a few people that were joining and watching, but I didn't have anybody buy anything, which was okay. It was an opportunity for me to learn and go through the motions of doing the auction. And so I was very humble after that, because I was super excited for the first one. But yes, I was humbled and did better today when I did my auction. Oh, you were at your mom's home? That's cool. I'm glad that you get to visit your mom so frequently. But anyway, so we found this. It's a cutting board. It has the rubber things, and they do come off, so I can pull them off. And I can either fill them, or Andrea had some suggestions with finding some, like a mold that I could do, like a clay mold or a resin mold, and I could put some things, molded on the corners. But that was a great surface to be able to decoupage. And then I found this. Maybe I should get a telegram so that we can get messages to remind us. Yes, sorta. Not one with So Glue and Cheryl too, but I do have a Telegram, so I could probably set up a new account on Telegram. I used to use Telegram just to get like some of the basic news feeds and things like that, because I refuse to watch local news. This is bad stuff. So my husband wants this sign for his office, and he is turning it into a prayer room. And it says, Christ, he is risen. And it is yellow. If you can see it, it's like, it's not a terrible yellow, but we are not yellow people. So I'm going to, it looks like to me, yeah, it is. It is just a vinyl. So I can heat it up and scrape off the vinyl, and then I can remake it into something a little bit more trendy, black and white or something like that. And then we'll be able to hang it in his office. So, I can also make a channel on the Telegram. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. I could do a channel, but you can't feed to both at the same time, can you? Or do you have to cross post later after the fact to Telegram to be able to share your videos? Because I've not spent a lot of time. I've only been a consumer and not a contributor in Telegram. So I thought this is a great surface to be able to, and I have the ability in my Cricut, I can cut vinyl. And so I'll redo, and possibly come up with a different Bible verse or something. In two different sections of the store, I found these frames, and they were matching twins, and they were literally $1. So, and they have like this nice little detail around it. So I thought, why not have twinsy matching, surfaces if I want. And they're really nice frames. They have the hangers, the hangers at the back, right here, and here. Then it's even, got one of the stands. So I'm like, for $1, sold. And then I found this little pizza thing. I think it's a pizza thing. And I thought it would be a great surface and make it like a kitchen decoration or something. But it's just wood, and it was only $1. I'm like, you just share a link to your page on the channel. You never post anything from a live, but just a link and a message about what time that you're going live. Okay. And that's good. Andrea, do you use Telegram as well? Because you get tons of people on your page, or is that just because you guys have lots of followers? Do you typically use Telegram to help kind of make? I am worth totally gonna give it a try and try to do that. It's hard for me to do a schedule because I never know how long, in my workday I'm going to have to work. And so it's hard for me to do a schedule. And so about the best I can do is, I'd love to be able to do other groups. It's just, unfortunately, I can't commit to that because of the time that I have for work, because I still work full time. And, so I felt comfortable enough with being able to do like the Sensational Creations event group so that I could do, after 4 p.m. Mountain Time. But yeah, I was just worried about if I got into like Adventures in Crafting or Sacred House that I wouldn't be able to keep up. Unfortunately. And I know that that's, one way to kind of build up your followers too, is, to be able to do those event groups. And, one day when I get to a chance to retire, maybe. So I found, this, and it's just a normal frame. Hold on a second. The back is, yeah, but I found this frame, and it has a lot of pretty detail around it. And I thought I could dry brush the edge to bring out some of the detail. Or, who knows? There's a lot of different things that you can do with frames. So I thought and it was an 8, it was a bigger one. It was an 8 by 10, I think, or an 8.5 by 11. So a lot of my images, if I were to put an image in it, would fit much better, into that type of frame. And then my husband found this little gem for me. It is an easel, and it is brand spanking new. It has a chalkboard on one side and a whiteboard on the other side. And I thought I could use it to help promote myself in my background somehow. One of these days, maybe I'll figure out more space to be able to show my crafted items. And then I found this tray, and it's $3. This is the most I spent. It's $3. And it has some detail on the inside and a little bit, you can see some detail on the outside. The handles are what was really cool. They've got a really nice detail on it. And I think it would be beautiful, remade. And I could and it's got enough of a lip where I could put, if I remade it, I could put some food safe epoxy on it and have it be actually food safe for somebody to buy it and use it, in a food kit safe. Because everything that I've done so far, so the UV resin that you can use is not food safe. And so it works, and it works great, but you still have to put some plastic down so that it doesn't come in contact with the food. So thank you. Yeah, I just thought, and so I have to chuckle because my husband was kind of frustrated with me in the very beginning when I decided to do this, because he's like, "Oh, you're buying all this stuff and, you're spending crazy." And I'm like, well, really I'm not, because, I buy things like, if it's under $5, then I'll buy it. But I, just don't invest heavily in a lot of stuff. I'm always looking for that deal. And as, every crafter is, but my husband just didn't quite get it. And so he was like really, really upset. And then, now as I'm starting to do this and he sees, the amount of people that I'm reaching and the videos that I'm doing. He's the one that found the little easel. So, you haven't used resin before? Oh, it's not complicated. It is something we could do together if sometime in the future. What I do, I've learned a few things using the UV resin. And if you have like the silicone, these are silicone, you can let it dry and it'll come right off of your silicone things. And you can buy, like cups that are silicone and things like that for your measuring, which I think eventually when I start doing some heavy work, hi Janet, when I do some heavier work in a resin, and I think what I'm going to do is look at, I think there's a few options out there, but I'm going to look for a food grade resin because there is a difference. And if you do a non-toxic food grade resin, then you won't have the smell in the house. The UV doesn't have tons of smell. It has a little bit of an odor, but it's not terrible. But you have to use the little light, the UV light that it comes with, unless you buy a bigger light, and I'm too cheap to do that. So it comes in a little kit with a little light. Oh, here it is. I'll show you. And the little kit comes with a silicone mat that you can. One of the things that I don't have is I don't have a leveling tray. And so when you're pouring it, you have to make sure that things are level, because if it sits and it's off to one side, then, of course, you're going to have resin thicker on one side. And so that's the one thing I don't have. When I was doing the other trays, I don't have the example real quick, but when I was doing the other trays, I just put a rubber glove on my hand and I used my fingers to kind of move the resin around the tray in a real thin coat. And then I used this little UV light that it comes with to be able to, and you plug it in and then you turn it on, and it has different seconds on it that you can turn on the button, and you just hold it over, and it takes a little bit, but if you're just doing like a tray, you can kind of move it around. And then what I typically do is I leave the tray to sit overnight to make sure that you have one of those for your nails. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. So it's something similar to that. And then there's these little cups that you can use to help pour. Well, they make these in larger scale where you have measurements on the side, because when you buy a in the little kit, it comes with these little silicone, so you can use it to help kind of move the resin around. That's the best thing to do is to get the cups. If you buy the UV resin for not using it for food things, if you buy, it's not super expensive, and it's a great way to start practicing. And I bought this on Amazon. I don't think it was super expensive. I maybe $14. You could start. It's Let's Resin, and it's UV epoxy, and it comes with two. I've already used up one. I was just turned it upside down to try to get the last out of it. And you come with two. It comes with the mat, the light, the little cups, and the little stirrer. And I found that that's how I kind of got practice with it. And in the future, I'll probably pick up some different things to be able to use, because I'd like to, when I do trays is to put the food safe down so that when I sell it, I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, it's pretty easy. But I don't think I have anything else to go over today. Oh, I know that Andrea was on and a few others were on, but was talking about, I think maybe tomorrow before I have to go to church. My church is not until 4 p.m. Mountain Time, so don't freak out. It won't be that early. But I have this wood tray that I am going to decoupage, but I am going to put the music behind it and then put this cross on it. And then this is why I need to buy some food safe resin, because what I'd like to do is I'd love to give this as a gift. And this is sheet music that's an old hymn. It's just a closer walk with thee. So I thought if I could put that behind this, and put this on it, cover it with resin, then it'll be food safe. I can use that as my gift away, at the Christmas party. And then if my husband has another idea or something like that, who knows, I may gift away some of my other items that I had for sale today. I'm like, if nothing else, I have a great stash of Christmas presents, right? But okay, well, I think I am gonna let everybody go. I saw a note from my husband. He said he was done with work, and so he's heading home. Thank you. So I created that printable from using AI, and it's easy to do. And I was trying to think of the name of what I use. I can't think of the name of, so there's a couple different applications out there that are free that you can go in, and all you have to do is, if you have an idea of what you want, you can go in and type in the AI and tell them you would like an image of whatever it is. You have to be as specific as you can. And you may start out with an idea. You type it into the AI bot, because there's a field that you type in that takes natural language, and it takes it and converts it to an image based off of what you're saying. So you type in kind of what you are looking for, and then as you are, it'll kind of come up with some images. And if it's not something that you like, you can get more detailed. Say, okay, so with this one, what I did was I told him I needed a cross on the mountains, sitting in the mountains, visible with the hills, a blue sky, and the bright sunlight behind it, with rays, glowing around it. And I wanted on the cross, I wanted the sheer fabric draping down. And from there, I hit enter and I started getting images, and then I started refining them. And then when you get the image, you have the ability to save it. Yeah. Yes. It can. It depends upon which one you're using. That it can certainly take copyrighted images. Yes, I do know that. I work in the software industry, so I'm very, very aware. But yeah, but I started with something very basic and then fine-tuned it from there with my own ideas in art. So, yes. But so you can do that. Yeah, I know that we have wonderful people like Risa, and we have Lisa Segal, or Lisa Siegel, with Vintage Roots Digital Designs and things like that that are graphic designers. And actually Lisa does quite a few things. I was just playing with it one day to come up with some images. I do have a graphic design degree, but I don't have all of the software anymore to create the images. So yes, there is. You're right, Sib. There's good and bad with everything. So you just have to be careful. Make sure that it's not pulling up something that is somebody else's image and stealing it, because you don't want to do that. That's not a good way to be. But anyway, so I think I'm going to let everybody go. Oh, no. I know you didn't. I didn't take it that way. You use it too. All right. Well, the hubby is home. And so I am going to let everybody go. Hi, Marianne. Thank you for joining. I'm almost at the end. I didn't send out a notice. It was just kind of a random, but you can go back and check out my replay. I was showing a few of the fun things that I got from the secondhand store and thought I'd come on and chat with everybody. But I want to wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful evening. And if there is any prayer requests, let me know. I'm happy to pray for you. And I wish everybody a beautiful evening and a wonderful Sunday. Maybe tomorrow I'll come on and do a little bit of crafting as I'm working on this plate. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate you guys, and God bless.